Guys, hi and welcome. It's November 5th, and I'm so excited to share with you just a little bit about this last weekend in Alabama. I got the honor of co hosting and also preaching at this gathering called Kainos. And Kainos is just the Greek word for new creation. So we talk about being a new creation in Jesus. I want to share some reflections about the weekend with you. But even if you weren't there, and especially if you weren't there, you might get really encouraged in just some of the things that I share. So I think this will apply to everyone. And whether you're watching it live or you're watching this video as like a rerun, I think you'll be encouraged. So stick around. As always, welcome. And if you want to just like this video, comment, and tell us what you most loved about it, it's always really encouraging to get feedback and hear from you, people that are tuning in. So yeah, I'll just share about Alabama. We flew into the Great South, the Bible Belt, Alabama. The more I'm there, I started talking more and more, saying things like y'all and howdy. And we got there Thursday, and friends picked us up from the airport. It was so fun. Young girl flew in from Australia. It was great to see her and meet her for the first time. People came up from Florida and Georgia and Indiana, other people from California. It was just such a great gathering from people all over the nation, and even friends from Switzerland were there, and Australia and different parts of the world. And it was just amazing. It was amazing. Thursday night was so fun with worship, and and when you worship with this group, it's just so rowdy and fun and loose, and people are dancing and having fun. I just think, something about worshiping God with your full body and expression is it's just fun, and it's expressive, and it gets your body moving. And I think the Christianity, we're used to worship in almost this passive rest place, kind of a melodic, fun sound, easy, relaxing, or we really like those old hymns, which are lovely as well. This worship tended to be more like upbeat and fun and exciting, and like kind of coming back from a victorious soccer match or a victorious football game or something, where people are like excited and moving. And so that's the way we think of Jesus. Like, he's the great victor of heaven and earth. He won the biggest battle to ever be fought. He has secured us in the love of the Father and the Son and the Spirit. And we are in this place of victory as believers. That's why we can have so much hope, so much joy. We can be rooted and established and anchored in what God's already done. And so we even sang this song by my buddy Dante, and he says, "It is finished. Even the things that we think are not, finished, it is finished." And so it's just such a great time of worship. The next day, we did some movement, some stretching or yoga. It's more just stretching, body motion, and then some Christ-centered meditation by my friend Katie. She wrote this beautiful meditation. It was so anchored in just Christology, looking in Jesus. And maybe I'll link one of those videos of her meditations or something so you can watch or listen along. But it was so fruitful, so beautiful. And then we got some time just walking around and being in nature. We did this group share, and I really think this will be encouraging for all of you. We did this group share where we just passed kind of the talking stick around, or whatever, the metaphysical talking stick. I was going to say we passed the microphone, but I'm remembering we didn't actually pass the microphone. We just went around. Each person got to share, and we just asked a question, like, what do you feel like Christ is speaking in 2025? And it was so incredible to hear what each person brought to the sharing and the session. And this is something that we really try to inspire: each voice being represented, each voice taking action, each voice bringing what this person has. And we heard everything from the power of forgiveness to the power of unity to what it means to love one another really well. And it's just so rich. It's so rich. Like, not one voice could ever bring, that kind of richness that we had. And just being able to hear from all the saints, and the Bible says so many times that we're all each supposed to bring something. I think in Ephesians 4, it says like each voice and songs, hymns, spiritual songs, singing in your hearts, encouraging one another, this kind of like mutual edification and exhortation that we find when you create space for everyone to participate. So, it's really odd to have like a conference and then make all the people that come to the conference the speakers. But that's kind of the truth of the body of Christ. It's like um, this whole idea of like the professional is the only one allowed to speak is almost like counterintuitive to so much of what you read in the book of Acts and so many of the encouragements in the New Testament. And so it was just so profound. It was so fun. And then we got time in nature. I'm going to pull up some photos here just so you can kind of see our time together. But this is our group and took a big fun photo. And then I want to show you some time in nature. This is on a walk that we went on together. It was just so beautiful that we were right on a lake. We got to kayak. I woke up early one morning and kayaked out in the front of the lake and sat on the lake and played my flute. It was so fun. And then yeah, let's see what else do we got here. We had a time of a costume party. I dressed up like a Maasai warrior. It's the only thing I could think of kind of last minute. I just got back from Africa. I was like, I'll dress like the Maasai. These are real Maasai garments that I was given, and the tribe actually gave me those garments. So before you cry appropriation, just remember I was welcomed by the actual tribes of Africa to wear these garments. And then we had friends dress up like Moses and just so many fun people that joined us. This last photo is when I went to preach. I was just so overwhelmed by the joy of Jesus and what he was doing in the room. I was just laying down and they're like, here, you got to preach. And they handed me a microphone. I was like, oh, let's just preach from the floor. Which is so wild. So non-religious and so fun and free. But I invited people to join me on the floor and we just had such a fun time. It was so wild and free, and people are like, oh, you're a bunch of Jesus hippies. But you'd be surprised about how much depth you would find in the people and the quality of the people that came, to Kainos. So I just want to thank everyone that came. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you for what you brought. Thank you for listening and participating with Jesus, and the campfire chats and the fun dances and the fun worship times. And I got to preach. I got to encourage some folks and some things. And one of the things I encouraged people in was just unity and connection with the Lord and his body, to remain connected with Christians all over the world and especially in your community. So I was excited about that. And then maybe tomorrow I'll share a little bit about what I shared at Kainos. I'll relive the experience, but I won't do it from the floor. I did stand up at one point and share like a normal human standing on my legs. But man, we just got to get wild and free with God. Sometimes when you're in church, it can start to feel a little stiff, but it should be like the most fun thing that we do together is worship Jesus and get together and share with one another the joy of God. And so I just want to encourage you guys, it doesn't have to be our get together. It can be a different get together, but make sure it's a place where you get to bring what God has put in you and you get to contribute to it. And I really encourage you guys getting into nature. I really encourage you guys leaning into people that are preaching the finished work and victorious gospel of Jesus Christ. And who knows, maybe I'll see you next year. Also, if you guys have thoughts about where next year should be, like let me know, where should we go with Kainos? We've gone to Toronto and Fort Wayne. We've gone to Oregon and Arkansas and West Virginia and Nebraska multiple times, and now Alabama. But where do you think the next gathering should be? I'm kind of hoping it's in California. I think it'd be really fun. So comment if you're from California, you'd want to come to a conference that's wild and free like this one, where you get to contribute and share and have good food and spend time playing games. Like we played volleyball and spend time in nature together. Let me know if you'd want to come. Does that interest you? Would you bring your friends or family to something like that? Lastly, today, I'm just going to end with this. Hope you guys are feeling well, that you're encouraged, that your joy levels are high. But even if they're not, just never forget that Jesus is with you in the darkest of dark moments to bring you into a place of grounded love, and that you would know your value in the gospel. Thanks for letting me share just a little bit about my experience this last weekend in Alabama. Lastly, I just want to give a shout out to my buddy Daniel Payne. He's a friend I met in Iris years back in Mozambique, Africa, with Heidi Baker. I got to spend time with him at his lovely home in Alabama. Roll Tide. It was so fun. And lastly, as well, I just want to give a shout out to Matt and Katie Spinks. Thank you so much for the years of partnership, 10 years partnering, hosting this gathering. And it's just been so fun and life-giving. Every year after I end the Kainos Koinonia weekend, I'm just reinvigorated with inspiring expressions of community and really wanting to get my friends together more and worship and share meals and share life and share daily life and encouragement. And so that community, the gathering, Kainos, has been so life-giving and inspiring. So I'm yet again encouraged and inspired. So if you want to drink tea or get together for a meal, let me know. I'm in the Redlands area, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I'll share more.